It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. It's National Flag Day. And I'm Sadiboy Ngoan, and we're coming to live from our Hospital Hill studios in Babane. For your top stories at 8, we dive straight into it and we take a look. His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Republic of Zimbabwe, where the King will partake in the Transforming Africa Summit 2023. The acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the National Flag Day is an annual observance which reminds Amaswati of their unique culture and heritage. And the acting Prime Minister says government has full support for the MTN Bushfire Festival and its input to the community. Hello once again, and for the news in detail, His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Republic of Zimbabwe, where the King will partake in the Transforming Africa Summit 2023. His Majesty is accompanied by Ngosikati Magala.
The King and Ingwenyama, His Majesty King Eswatini III, left the kingdom through the King Eswatini III International Airport. His Majesty is accompanied by Ngosikati Magala. The King departed the country for the Republic of Zimbabwe, where His Majesty will take part in the Transform Africa Summit 2023. This is Africa's leading annual forum, bringing together global and regional leaders to collaborate on new ways of shaping, accelerating, and sustaining Africa's ongoing digital revolution. This sector is very important to the King and the nation, as the kingdom is striving towards developing this section. Present to witness His Majesty's takeoff were the Ngosikati to His Majesty, the royal family, the acting Prime Minister, cabinet ministers, chiefs, and the general public. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia at the King Eswatini III International Airport.
The acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the National Flag Day is an annual observance which reminds the Amaswati of their unique culture and heritage. Masuku was speaking in the observance of the National Flag Day, which was first hoisted on April 25, 1967.
The National Flag Day is a public holiday in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and it is observed on April 25 each year. The holiday commemorates the anniversary of the Eswatini flag being hosted for the first time in April 25, 1967. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku gave a bit of history on the flag and its significance to the people of the Kingdom of Eswatini.
Ungakaphakami lo mjeka inkosi ingwenyama sobhuza usibili emangisi bekala ukuthi yena kuthiwe King babethi ngu-paramount chief la iphakama le flag iyayikhona le mangisi lokuthiwa Union Jack. So kuleyo transition letinye indzawo wathi na uhamba ukhanze awomabili ulelinye kunjani kepha kuphakama kwako inkosi yafunga ukuthi seying-king ngaleso sikhathi yase iyachubeka-ke le ndzaba yokuthi kutathi nga September 6, 1968. Sewuyehlakelwe mangisa umjeka wehla kokuphela sekude la phakama khona utawusetshenziswa khona ngoba sesisebenzisa lo wethu. Kungakho-ke leli langa lelikhulu kakhulu ngilapha eMaswati ehlukana khona wabuya inkosi yawo ngekuphelela ingasesiye Paramount Chief so kuyinkosi ngekuphelela inkosi ingwenyama lesi sasathi thina ukuthi ngiko-ke lamhla leli langa lilikhulu.
The Deputy Prime Minister then wished Eswatini a blessed National Flag Day. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkel Siwekoza with Muzim Konta and Vumiko Sinsinisa Mbabane.
The acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the government has full support of the MTN Bushfire Festival and its input to the community. Masuku was speaking at a house on fire on Monday night during the launch of the MTN Bushfire 2023.
Speaking during the launch of the 16th edition of Bushfire Festival, the acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says government fully supports the Bushfire Festival and its input to the community. Masuku says the festival attracts hundreds of thousands of people from around the globe.
I have brought government's appreciation on what this, the MTN festival has brought to the vulnerable. I happen to sit on the downstream of the people who get the help from this festival, where you find the orphaned and vulnerable children. And those who are putting together this festival don't understand the appreciation of those who are getting the help. I do, because I sit with them on the other side.
The Minister of Tourism, Moses Vilakati, asked residents of Malkens to open their houses for those who will attend the festival and make them feel at home. The MTN Bushfire chairperson, who also doubles as the Lobamba Lomzala Member of Parliament, Mawik Kumalo, says this festival uplifts small and medium enterprises during this weekend.
So much has been said about the 1,600 plus job opportunities that come our way. We have our marketeers, vendors, community policing. They do get an opportunity to be of service.
MTN Eswatini has supported this year's festival with 3.6 million malangeni. The MTN Bushfire app was also launched. The festival will take place on the 26th to the 28th of May 2023. Reporting IMK and MCB at the House on Fire, Malkens.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Philip made an unannounced visit at the fridge factory in Matapa after he was informed that the company disregarded the National Flag Day holiday and issued a memorandum that it will be a normal working day and all workers are expected to report for duty. During the engagement with the company's executive, the minister was informed that the company acted according to a 2022 government gazette that says manufacturers do not observe some holidays.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Philip says a government gazette that will be issued this year will direct that all companies, whether retail or manufacturers, will be expected to observe national holidays.
And I'm glad you are agreeing that you did get the advice that today is a public holiday, which you should have respected.
Not for manufacturing. For retail, yes, but not for manufacturing.
It's not specific to any sector, but it's for all business entities to observe. So we are here to guide you as an entity to say, despite what you have, which was issued last year, the situation that should obtain now is that all public holidays are respected, irrespective of the sector. Because all the employees that you have, these are citizens of this country who have rights to be respected on.
The fridge factory chief executive officer insists that there was no communication indicating that all companies had to observe the holiday.
But yes, it is a holiday, but it is not a holiday for manufacturing. And hence a correction memo was issued yesterday that the people must come to work today. Today is a normal working day for manufacturing. We did consult with the Gazette to verify, and the Gazette for 2020-22 has it that today is a normal working day.
The fridge factory shop steward chairperson Almons Melane says they engaged their employer regarding the holiday, but nothing positive came out of the engagements.
Sabuye ke samengage umuntu ukuthi yemcashi emaholidi sidawahlala thina. Samcashi hayi. Nokuthathaphi. Hayi confirm abuye futhi kithatha hayi everything ku fine vele emaholidi ndawahlala. Ashintshe nale plan yokusebenza ikhombe ukuthi today ngikude lesikudakwenda kude nje umuntu utakwe emsebenzini. Hayi sijabule vele sisebenza. Only to find ukuthi itolo ngabo 3.
Minister Buthelezi says there is a great need for the ministry to improve communication when it comes to distributing information, as some messages end up not reaching intended people. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Muslim Konta Matapa.
The Minister of Health, Nkosi, says government, in partnership with different stakeholders, aims to improve health care services in the country to minimize the number of Eswatini who are transferred to other countries for improved health services. The Minister was speaking during the launch of the Rotary Club Medical and Dental Outreach at Kapula.
The Minister of Health signed a memorandum of understanding with the Mbabane Rotary Club to improve healthcare services in the communities, which saw the establishment of the Rotary Club Medical and Dental Outreach Program targeting school-going children. Through the program, residents are offered medical services such as cancer screening and dental services, amongst others. On Tuesday, the Minister of Health, Nkosi, launched this year's outreach program at Kapula Clinic.
Litiko letempilo njengoba nati siyetama ukuthi etindzaweni tonke sisonzete imitfolampilo sisonzete tibhedlela kodwa kuyakuthi njalo ngetikhathi sisonzete ema-campaigns noma ngabe sifuna kujovisa abantwana noma ngabe sibuka ukuthi kukhona lokubhedvukile kuna COVID noma kukhona lesisakubuka ukuthi kuyahlongota kuyeta njengananga ukholera solo sichubeka sathi sasive kodwa siyathanza ukuthi ema services onke elitiwe ukuthi bantu batokhona kuphila asonzele kubantu.
Rotary Club District Governor also addressed the meeting.
What Rotary does worldwide is to partner with governments so that we can help where we can. And that is why we are here today.
The Rotary Club Medical and Dental Outreach Program has been running for 14 years. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgal Suekoza with Muslim Konta, Kapula.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission has started test runs for the efficiency of the electronic election system, as was said by the EPC Communications Officer, Monisi Pembe.
Libandla libuke indaba delikhetfo futhi liyachubeka nekwatisa sive ngemsebenzi wawo emalungiselelo elukhetfo lilala benyoni libandla ngawo unalawa malungiselelo lapho khona eMaswati atawukhumbula ukuthi solo liphishanekile libandla ngeke ufundzisa nobe kukhumbuta sive ngalo lukhetfo lwa 2023 kuyo yonke imiphakathi lapho khona sewutawucishe ubuke ukuthi lokungenani kulokusiphohlongo kulokulishumi 80% sekuyiwe kuleyo miphakathi. Siyabonga kakhulu kumukelwa ngetandla letitfokomele kuwo wonke lemiphakathi lapho libandla beliye khona.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission is working tirelessly to ensure that all communities are reached for the civic and voter education exercise. Currently, almost 80% of the country's chiefdoms have been capacitated on elections. We really appreciate the warm welcome by Eswatini. The Commission is now preparing for the registration process, doing test runs for the electronic election system. We encourage Eswatini to take part in the elections.
Anglican Church Bishop Reverend Dr. Darcy Dlamini has officially launched the church's project of rearing goats and cattle to help the less privileged. The bishop said the project is known as the Anglican Goats Project.
The Anglican Church Bishop Dr. Darcy Dlamini elaborates about the importance of the Anglican Goats Project.
Looking forward in assisting the vulnerables in society, we are assisting those who are orphans and widows, and the church at large. So whatever that we are going to be getting, we know that it is not only going to benefit the church, but it is going to develop the communities where the Anglican Church is in the entire country.
On the ongoing report of division among members of the church, especially those who are complaining about the bishop's leadership, Dr. Dlamini promised to address the matter on Wednesday afternoon. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla Manzini.
A security guard at Ngaini area under the Nkomiyahlaba constituency is still traumatized and tells it like a fairy tale when 3 armed men attacked him, demanding dacha, money and a torchlight. He thanks the Almighty God for his survival on what befell him.
One would say it was an action movie when 3 armed men attacked a security guard at Ngaini area, demanding money, a torchlight, and dacha from him. The security guard told them that he does not have the things they are demanding from him, which was when they threatened him with a gun.
Bathi bafuna ungidubulela ukuthi ngibakhanyiselane ngingababoni bathi ngingabakhanyisi ngaze ngibona lesibhamu ngavele ngavala umnyango masinyane ngathi awunani madoda le nto engiyibonile le angifundi ukubhekana nayo lana ngisavuli kenyalo ngifela la nangabe ngidubula ngidubuleni la ngekhathi.
He says they kicked the door of their security house, which was when one uttered the words that he must be killed. The other was not for the idea. According to the security guard, they then proceeded to a certain Makakula homestead, which has a spaza shop, where they fired shots in a window. Members of the family fired back with their own gun. Kuran Makakula, a family member, narrates how they fought them back.
Sibalanzela mna ke bayadubula sebathi ngidubula abasadubuli ke lapho bona badubula ukuthi nqa ngibone ukuthi kude inhlaba lapho ngene khona sibinzi ngase siyakhola lokuthi siba attack senta kugudutisana vele ngale yakulehle khona lesibhamu salwa wawa munye wathi asewile.
He says upon noticing that the thugs have run out of bullets, he gained confidence and further fought them until they managed to flee the scene. The Chief Police Information and Communications Officer, Superintendent Pindile Vilagati, confirmed the incident. The police investigations are still ongoing on the matter. Reporting, I am Kian Msibu, it's Muvashongwe and Ngaini.
Welcome back, and our sports roundup. We begin with cycling, where the association's president, Eswatini Nxumalo, says there's been an increase of more women in the sport, but it remains a responsibility to every local cycling club to try to ensure that they have women cyclists. Nxumalo says this will help in seeing the country getting female representation at different international competitions.
And in our sports roundup, we begin with cycling, where the association has begun process of encouraging clubs to recruit more women in the sport. The association says the numbers are quite improving, though clubs still have a role to play in increasing the number of women.
The key thing, it's not just about the females, but at the basic level, it's just about improving access to the sport, because you know with getting into cycling akufani nasebholeni mhlawumbe la uzokhanza khona bantu bayadlala in the streets uyakhona kubajoyina. Joining cycling requires you to make substantive investment in terms of getting a bicycle, getting the right equipment and all that. So part of what we've seen our clubs do is being very helpful in terms of guiding people who are getting into the sport, in terms of, okay, where can I find a cheaper bicycle or an affordable bicycle? Where can I get affordable equipment and all that? So we believe once we address those basic issues, go entry at the entry point of the sport, we'll be able to then attract more people into the sport. But in particular, when speaking about the issue of female participation or women participation in the sport, we have seen quite an improvement over the last maybe 12 months. Also just in terms of the activities that are happening to address that, because une initiative like my ladies, where they have quarterly monthly rides, because one of the things that tend to drive people away from into let kanjena ngokuthi bacabanga ukuthi batawufika bakhanze a very closed group in a very with a very advanced level of skills abangeke bakhona ukufitha in kuyo.
And in our international news, Morocco national team head coach Walid Regragui has raised his interest in one-day coaching in the English Premiership. Regragui believes his recent achievements with Morocco at the FIFA World Cup, where he finished 4th to become the first ever African country reaching the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup, should give him enough credit. And in England, Chelsea have begun talks with Argentinian coach Mauricio Pochettino to take over as the new Chelsea boss. If everything goes accordingly, Pochettino should take over at the beginning of next season. Lastly, in the English Premiership, midweek fixture will continue with Wolves taking on Crystal Palace. Mid-table sides, Aston Villa and Fulham will have a date, while a relegation battle we see Leeds United taking on Leicester City. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Babane.
The sports news, we hit the home stretch of our news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Before we go, a quick reminder of news-making headlines tonight. His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Republic of Zimbabwe, where the King will partake in the Transforming Africa Summit 2023. Acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the National Flag Day is an annual observance which reminds Amaswati of their unique culture and heritage. And the Acting Prime Minister says government has full support for the MTN Bushfire Festival and its input to the community. Well, that's how we reach the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Thank you for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the crew here at Eswatini TV. For now, it's a good night and God bless.
So much to offer.
Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Living the high life with great savings at Hi-Fi Corp. When you shop this Hisense 58-inch smart UHD TV for $8,999, save $2,500. Or this Samsung A03 core smartphone for a low $1,899, save $100. Or this KIC 314-liter fridge freezer for an amazing $6,999, save $500. Price is valid until 1 May 2023. Hi-Fi Corp, your #1 deal destination.
From club to country, Euro and AFCON qualifiers call on our international stars.
Big names everywhere you look.
More tears and cheers.
Crank up the music! Charge your glass!
More showmen.
Lead weight in the middle, including Abu Bakr. What power on that header! Harry Kane! England's priceless gem!
And showstoppers. More of the game that we love most.
It was too much.
More football awaits. Stay connected to catch the best international football live on SuperSport.
Oh, yeah.